Welcome to Azure Infinitum Podcast. This is your host, Reika Fujishima, also known as Hikaru Kazushime from Runaround Network around the web. Today we have 4 hosts alongside myself who are from our community. We have 3 from the Azure Council, 3 lieutenants representing, and 1 of our scouts. First up, we have Baby Shoes with us today.
Well, hello. This is Baby Shoes. This is my debut episode here. I'm a sprout, I guess you could say, compared to everyone else. Much like I was when I first joined the FC. It's not my first rodeo when it comes to podcasts, though. I am a scout, as Rika just mentioned. I'm a freshly minted scout, so I'm still trying to see what's going on with that. But I'm glad to be a part of the FC, which has been great to me, and to give back to people that are joining, and to kind of be the glue, make people laugh, loosen people up. So glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us, Baby Shoes.
Yep, glad to ramble on with the rest of you.
Okay. Yeah. We also got Oshkosh B'gosh here with us.
Hey, it's me. I'm Osh. Y'all know what I'm about. Let's move it along.
Thank you, Osh. And we've also got Nora.
Ahoy, Azure Infinitum. It is I, Nora Swift, your resident pirate queen and lieutenant on the council. Most of my focus these days is on our awesome Azure wings, but I've been known to pop up around 14 from time to time.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Nora. And last but not least, we have Lieutenant Mistithgar Arodica with us here.
Meow.
Yeah. Is that it? Not it?
Okay, that was great. Just a meow.
I thought I was going to be short.
I would expect
damn.
That was the most serious Rothgar meow.
Giant cat, what did you expect?
Ever. Can they meow like that in the game instead of laughing? That'd be funny.
I know, right?
Just meow, like serious meow. Okay. Well, today we got a number of things to talk about here on our first podcast in a couple months. We put the podcast on hold for just a little bit. We were kind of reorganizing a few things here and there, just various things in the community, ways that we want to get information out to you guys listening. Also, we are celebrating our anniversary month. So this is a big month. It's a big month for Azure. It's our 8th anniversary. Going back to 2014 when the FC was established. If you like, you can always check out our website at https://www.azureinfinitum.com, where you can find our anniversary post, which you can read the founding story right there, followed by all the dates and times for things coming up this month. And in this month, we have done something a little bit special this time. Instead of just having a founding day that we observe and doing an anniversary Azure Day weekend, our 2-day spectacular back-to-back events running for 2 days starting at 12 noon PST, both days going from November 26th to November 27th. We also have our anniversary picture day. It's taking place on the 19th this month at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. PST. Following with the finale of our Azure Infinitum Decor contest. So if you haven't voted yet or checked out the gallery of all the entries, we have some really fantastic, and I mean really fantastic stuff going on in both of those categories. There's a state category and an FC room category. So you can check out some of the amazing FC rooms that people have put together. It's the private chambers category officially, and the estates that were entered as well, which are very, very, very lovely. Go ahead and sign up, register, cast your vote, log in, and you can peruse all of them. There's like a ton of rooms a handful of estates. Definitely check those out. The winners are going to be announced right before Anniversary Azure Day begins. So we just have a couple weeks until then. Also, we have a special Discord category set up in our Discord server. You can find the category right below the welcome category, right above the 14 category. So you're going to see anniversary screenshot memories. There's a special anniversary storytelling, everything that led up to the founding of Azure. It's going to be evolving throughout the month. There's also a place to post appreciation and things about your story in Azure Infinitum. What is your 14 story like, and how did it lead to Azure? What sort of things have you experienced on your journey? So definitely let us know. Check that category out. And I want to ask our hosts here regarding Anniversary Month. What are you guys looking forward to the most?
Personally, honestly, it's just hanging out with the FC. Like, events are always awesome, photos are always awesome, but I have the most fun just hanging out and just talking with everybody because there's so many laughs to be had.
True.
We're doing parades or just hanging around waiting for it to become daylight again when we're trying to take our screenshots. And everybody put your minions away. Let's go.
Well, between Picture Day, we've got Picture Day on the November 19th at 9 EST, 6 PST. That is our main year of the whole year shot. So a lot of people know that we do our screenshot gatherings at these special event weekends like Azure Day weekends or Summerfest, things like that. But for the whole year, celebrating the whole year's roster for as many people that can make it. I mean, not everybody can, but for as many who can, it is an awesome shot. It's like a big shot. I mean, you'll see some of our biggest shots are from those picture days. So, or from.
Do we want to talk about the time? I think it was last year or the year before. We spent 7 or 8 hours. It felt like waiting for the sky to turn blue.
In-game hours?
Oh, yeah. Well, we kept getting the rare weather conditions after another. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the in-game hours. Yeah, I can't imagine spending 8 hours in real life. Yeah. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it
might have been like half an hour or an hour.
Usually we get pretty lucky though. It's not as painstakingly as as it sounds, but a lot of people do appreciate getting that nice crisp blue sky in the background with our big group shots. So sometimes we do, we will wait a little bit. That's why for Picture Day on the 19th, we definitely make that a very special day just for that. However, once we group, however many hours it takes. Of course, we don't do it right away. So if the sky is blue right when we go and it starts raining, 2 minutes after grouping time, we're gonna wait. Because folks are gonna be piling in for a while. But I imagine the 2022 Picture Day group shot is probably gonna take around maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So just make sure you have a little bit of time on hand if you want to come in and get a big picture with the FC. And add yourself to the group so we can just get the biggest shot we can. It's real glorious shots that we get. We got some expert G posers as well in the free.
Yeah, we got a lot of G posers.
Definitely, and they put a lot of work into those too. So
the true in game, if you will.
Absolutely, yep. So we've got Anniversary Azure Day is going to be packed with back-to-back events. Like I said, Anniversary Azure Day, November 26th, 27th, both days. Events start at noon, run all the way almost to midnight PST. So it was back-to-back mini games, raffles, races, contests, game shows, you name it. It's going to be very, very, very exciting.
Are we running cards this year?
Cards?
Cards Against Humanity?
Cards Against Azure.
Yes, sorry.
Cards Against Azure. We can. The schedule is not fully done yet, but the program guide that's going to appear on AzureInfinitum.com very soon. So keep an eye out for the program guide post. That's where you can basically go and get all the information you need about the event weekend, as well as information on what each event is and what time they're going to take place. Because we got folks that actually take time off work for these things. We got folks that plan way ahead. And we try to make sure that it's not like too close to Thanksgiving, because we know we share our anniversary month, shares a holiday with the month. So that's why we kind of do it, a weekend like later on as far as we can. But it's kind of hard to place. So if we bring it too close to the beginning of the month, it's also kind of hard, because we had Summerfest in August, and then each month since then we've had something special going on for the FC. So October had our Azure Saints Wake 2022, which actually was awesome.
Oh, was amazing.
Sure,
oh my god, it was so
I saw
good.
each
that
of
was,
you guys
that was
there.
pretty fun. Yeah, I think we all were.
Yeah, we had
I got there a little late, but
amazing Hildebrand display at the end.
Yeah, you were
Yes.
there, Misty. That's for me and you
All the
boxed.
Hildebrands
Oh my
dancing.
god, that
All
was
the hell the
just-
brands, yes.
That was
Just
awesome.
me trying to coordinate Misty with the rest of us, because we all synced up, and I'm like, start
syncing up with
now.
Mosh or Lag, but not everyone else.
Well, like for those that are not sure what we're talking about, for the Halloween in-game event in Final Fantasy XIV Online, we had it's called All Saints Wake, but we celebrate our own Azure Saints Wake within that. So we had a March of the Dead parade. We had a mystery event at the end that basically allowed everybody to go to the special like Halloween zone that was really cool for like picture taking, and you could actually wear NPCs as your costume, so like famous characters from the game. And then there was all these different so many photo ops like all over the place. But we also did our ghost hunt game, which was pretty hilarious.
I'm surprised. Like, I slapped you from so far away.
Yeah, because in order to use the super, what did I call it? Like the super ghost, like ghost cannon ultra.
Yeah.
Or something. I forgot what I named it, but a Ghost-O-Matic 3000 from the Iron
The
Man.
Ghost-O-Matic, it was the Ghost-O-Matic 3000.
Yeah, the
from the Iron
Ghost-O-Matic.
Wars,
Yeah. In order to actually shoot the ghost and capture it or whatever, like I just told the FC really fast. I was like, just use the slap emote. So I was the ghost, so I got slapped like constantly when I was trying to fly around. And I think one of my favorite moments was in this cave where I just like darted after I saw somebody, and then everybody in the zone was like, there's Reika, get the ghost, and just had this trail of people behind me trying to slap. It was hilarious. And then
Mima chonked you for the win.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say.
Uncle.
Our resident Mima, Noir Skylock, legacy member, and also co-founder of Azure, Noir actually pulled out the Infinity Chancla. So for those who don't know, Noir's got a thing with throwing chanclas. So the Infinity Chancla has been sealed, and it has been unsealed.
What I want to do.
And it is very powerful. So that was one of the grand finales of our ghost hunt. So pretty crazy Halloween event that we had there, Azure Saints Wake 2022. We're gonna have a gallery as well pretty soon. Usually I like to post event galleries from recent Azure Day type events like that. So really looking forward to Anniversary Azure Day at the end of this month. I think we've got a lot of new faces in the free company. We've got a lot of people kind of returning to 14 after a little bit of a break, post Endwalker break, and people have been playing Elden Ring and some other amazing games that have come out this year. I know we're real close to God of War Ragnarok that just came out. But
I was just say a lot of people like showed up with really good costumes for the Halloween event.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we had we usually have some really, really creative minds that will show up with just like this amazing in-game cosplay. The way they're able to kind of like make that happen and achieve that is just really amazing. So with our
Tip of the hat to you. Tip of the hat for
I
you.
was I was surprised
Nausicaa.
at how
I
good
love
we
that.
had. That Nausicaa was amazing.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
that was
Yeah.
great.
Thank you. You know what inspired that was I saw the new the Plague Bearers like mask, and I was like, that mask reminds me of the one that Nausicaa wears. But then when I actually incorporated it into an actual Nausicaa glamour in 14, I was like, I think I'd rather just do the non-mask one, so because it's a little bit too like Tusken Raider like. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shout out to Nausicaa. That is my favorite
thank you.
Ghibli movie.
Thank you. Oh yeah, definitely shout out to Nausicaa.
Fun fact that the English version stars Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
Yes.
the voice acting in
Oh
it's
yeah,
crazy.
it does. Yeah,
he's
I
doing
actually had the opportunity to work with the Japanese voice of Nausicaa back in 2014 or 13. It was 2013, 2014. We had her by for guest relations. So I actually have a large signed portrait of Nausicaa with her actual
Aw.
Japanese in my home.
Sick.
So I'm a big
Nice.
Nausicaa fan. Yeah.
Well, while we're on
I
the
love
subject
all
of voice
Ghibli
actors,
movies.
Was
Oh,
it
go ahead.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of voice actors, I just have to shout out we lost Kevin Conroy today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Batman died today.
That's a rough one.
So,
Yeah, it's a rough
yeah.
one to lose. Yeah, Kevin Conroy, voice of Batman from the animated series as well as the Arkham games, and I'm sure much more.
Yep.
He was a really nice guy. Very, very awesome person. Amazing job at Batman. He was the Batman of Batmans. And
Yes, he
definitely
is my
shout out to
Batman
Kevin
forever.
Conroy.
Yeah,
Pour
his
one out
voice
for
is the
Kevin.
voice. His voice is the voice that you hear in your head now when you read Batman comics.
Definitely.
Yup.
Definitely.
Yup.
Now, if you're watching Batman Beyond, you just hear like Terry, damn it.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, it's really
I was
funny.
still hoping. I was still hoping we would get like a Batman Beyond live action series with him as old Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Actually, we did.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
in the that was on the CW. He was Bruce
Oh,
Wayne on
we
the
got,
CW.
but that was he played Kingdom Come Batman in that though.
Close enough. That's about as close as we're gonna get, I think.
Yeah,
At least with him in it.
I'm just thankful for everything he gave. He was a really fantastic voice actor, and person. Honestly, I have one memory with him actually. It's funny I just mentioned Nausicaa, but it was around that same time that Kevin Conroy was another one of our guests when we first moved our con to the Capitol's convention center. So we were like, at first before we booked him, we were like, who's going to be like the biggest name on our ticket, this year, and we were really hoping for somebody that would like really make it come alive. And it's an anime convention, so bringing in, he's not from anime, but of course his video games and such animations related. But we took a risk and brought him in, and I know that sounds funny because it's never a risk to work with him, but
No,
Yeah.
no.
but we brought him in, and it was like he just like was an amazing presence amongst our guests, and it was kind of like you already expect someone to be amazing, but then when you like meet them, it's even better. So the fact that we at least got to do that, and that was a memory for one of our local events, it was pretty special. I'm really glad to have had that chance back then. So he was just so nice to all the guests, and all of our convention attendees and the other guests,
Yeah.
of course.
He was phenomenal. One year I was working like volunteer staff at Comic-Con, and I ended up being one of his handlers.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And he was the nicest guy. It's like, do you need anything? No, but do you need anything? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
Yeah.
guy I was.
uh,
gets
he
great
actually
reviews,
his signing was supposed to end like 30 minutes before it did, but he's like, there's still people in the line.
I
They're
was
all
about
getting
to say-
signatures, and they're all getting.
Yep. I was about to say that as well. During the signing, he was just extremely generous. So we don't always get guests that are like that generous. So that sounds right. Spot on, Osh. So yeah, definitely shout out to Kevin Conroy. I'm glad you mentioned that.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, rest in power, Kevin
For
Conroy.
sure. Legend.
Yep. So, let's see. Before we move on from anniversary month, is there anything any of you guys wanted to say before we move on from this topic?
Well, I know I just like reading everyone's stories. I think we talked about
Yeah.
the details of what we've all got coming up, but like I've been in the FC for a good almost 3 years now, so
4 in a few
really
months.
just looking back. Oh, geez, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. and just thinking back on everything, all the journey, it's like I have my experience, and Mistithgar, I'm going to rely on you to remind me to actually write my story at some point in the channel.
Yeah, right?
But it's really interesting to me just seeing where everyone's coming from, getting that idea of, okay, we all found our way here, but some of us it took a while, others we've been around for a while.
Found?
Yes.
You dragged me kicking and screaming away from being a solo player, and then
You're
Seba and
right.
2 other officers and Reika beat me over the head with the scout title until I was bent into submission.
Yeah. And now
Well,
look
you're
at you.
here now. You're here now forever. Enjoy Wondrous Wednesdays. Let's go.
But yeah, I would agree with you. It is really interesting to see people's different stories. Like the thing with Lance saying he was the shy one. I would have never believed Lance was ever shy
Right?
at anything ever. That blew me away. I had to say something.
Oh,
So yeah, just hearing
definitely.
people's backgrounds like that. Yeah, that was really interesting. I'm a little behind, so I'm gonna get caught up. But yeah,
Yeah, I noticed
seeing
like
boss pose and everybody.
you check in, and you catch up, and then like before you know it, like there's a few more big stories written. So
Yep.
we're gonna leave that up probably till like just after Anniversary Azure Day, and then what we're gonna do is we're actually not gonna delete it. We're gonna just hide the category until next year. So maybe over the years we'll start collecting a lot of memories in that channel,
That could be
in
fun.
that category.
Yeah. Yeah, a little time capsule.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna post
definitely.
every year, and it's gonna basically be Sebastian got my joke name, and I joined when I made my alt.
You know what's really funny about that, Osh? I don't know if I ever told you this, but this is something that we can all laugh at now. Back when he found you as Chevy Impala, the character.
Yep.
and then I think I don't remember when he found out about 4, but or was it like right around the same time? I think. But
It would have been a little bit later, but yeah, around the same time.
we had a minor like drama case with somebody that had just left that had like a car name. So we actually thought at first, and our very first thought was that they changed their name and tried to like become friends with him again. So I was like telling him, I was like, "Are you sure that's not the guy? Are you sure?"
Yeah, I didn't even message him. He just messaged me in Limsa, and he's like, "I
Yeah.
got the joke," and I'm like, "Yeah."
That's funny. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, you never know someone's origins in the community, and it's always really interesting sometimes. I mean, even if you're a recruit out there listening, or you were a recruit at one point it's listening now, and I just reached out to you because I saw your FC list. Like even then, we have folks that came in via like maybe a more simple story, but then they had like this amazing years of memories and stuff. So it's like it's always fun to know. It's always fun to know what everyone's memories are in Azure and their origins. Okay, so let's move on to the meat of the podcast. Now that we've talked about our anniversary and upcoming stuff, we can also maybe include a little bit of patch stuff when we get to our what to expect going forward from 14 part towards the end.
Oh yeah.
But let's go one at a time. What we're playing. So I'm gonna pick Baby Shoes first, and I'm gonna ask Baby Shoes here what kind of games you've been into lately. And if it's 14, that's fine too.
Yeah, 14 has kind of taken over my life, as I knew it always would. Part of my origin story that we were talking about here a second ago was I played it originally at 2.0 at the relaunch, because I saw 1.0. And previous to this, I was a huge fan of 11. I probably played 11 maybe more than any video game.
Man.
I was a huge fan of 11.
How long did you play 11?
I played 11 from, when did it come out on PC? That was like what, 2001?
2001, I believe.
Yeah, so
It would have came out at the same time on PS2.
Yeah, so I played on launch. So I played it from launch to about 2004. So I played it for about 3 years straight, and I played some other stuff in there too. But I was really basically playing that. I built a PC just to play it.
Okay.
I had a PC, but I had moved from California to up here, and my laptop kind of gave out on me, so I had to build a PC from scratch. But obviously, like my default is 14 right now. I kind of really fell into that. But when I'm not playing 14, I have a backlog of several games that I've been playing. I'm about 60% through Dragon Quest XI, which is a fantastic game. I'm about
Dragon Quest. Yeah,
Dragon Quest is just amazing.
Heck yeah.
I'm about 60%.
It's a Japanese national anthem.
Yes, it is. I'm about 60% through Octopath Traveler, which I'm also really enjoying.
Nice.
Also good.
Because that game looks like so cutesy and stuff. That game looks so cutesy and stuff, but it gets dark so quick, and I love it. And I'm also about 60% through the first Ni no Kuni game. Speaking of Studio Ghibli.
Oh,
nice.
Oh yeah,
that game's fantastic as well. Also super
so
dark,
good,
super quick. And also I've been playing through Control because in the last year and a half, I always kind of saw Control. It was always like on Digital Foundry, and they were always using it for like benchmarks for other things. But I fell into and discovered SCP Foundation stuff, and I instantly fell in love with that stuff. And Control is basically SCP the game.
It is.
So I came back, I circled back around to it, and I'm loving that. I'm about 15 or 20 hours into that. And lately,
before you move on, baby, do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about what SCP is, in case?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I'm coming into this late. I guess this is from like the mid 2000s. All this started, but I'm
Secure,
coming.
contain, protect.
Yes, it's amazing. So basically, think like Fringe and X-Files mixed with the Warehouse from the end of Indiana Jones. Basically,
No,
Yeah.
it's like Warehouse 13, Fringe.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Oh,
reference.
Warehouse 13, yeah.
like a Area 51 type stuff. But basically, it's this fictional meta universe. It's all based on a wiki, and the whole wiki is based on these different entries, and these different entries are these different paranormal things that can't be explained. Like for instance, SCP-008. Yeah, SCP-008 is literally the zombie plague and how it exists in this world and how they have it locked up and all the scientific data about it.
There's
So
also
basically-
weird ones. Like there's the Rogue Monster Baseball League.
Yeah, I was reading one
Yeah.
about this marching band that's been stuck in perpetual hive mind since like the 1976, and they
Yeah.
closed off the whole high school, and now it's this thing. And if anybody hears the music, they feel compelled to join them, and if they join them, they're lost. They're just part of the band. It's some crazy stuff, but basically, yeah. So if you ever play Control, you kind of have a general idea. It is SCP Foundation, but they just changed the names around and changed like the coding and stuff around. But basically,
Yeah, and-
think Fringe and X-Files and
Okay.
Area 51.
So
Yeah.
that's
And the
that's
gameplay is
SC.
phenomenal. Like, the
Yeah.
gameplay is so good, like, floating around, shooting
Yes.
shit.
There's actually a really good SCP game that just came out. Yeah, SCP Secret Files just came out, and that's really good if you want to check that out.
Okay.
That
But yeah,
one's been on my list for a while. Control just
it's
ever
fantastic.
since I got a PS5, I'm like, yeah. My friends are like, you should play this.
Yes, you should.
Control
You
is
should, bro.
awesome, and it's the same universe as Alan Wake, if anybody
Yes.
out there has played Alan
I
Wake.
actually had
Yes.
Oh, Alan Wake.
Yes,
I
and
played Control though.
yeah, and not to give
Oh.
anything away, but Alan Wake is in Control, and Control is in Alan Wake, and that's all I'll say.
Wow.
Yeah, same universe, second DLC, Alan Wake, let's go. Right?
Yep.
So, Control, and lately, I'll wrap this up. My last two games I downloaded are games I should be playing, but I'm not because I'm all about that 14 life right now. Persona 5, which I've been waiting years to
Oh.
play. That just
Oh,
came out on
God,
PC.
get on it.
I know. And I just downloaded Tactics Ogre Reborn because that came out today.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
yeah.
Nice. That's a
So
favorite.
I'm-
Oh, that came out
that's
today?
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
out.
it came out today. Yep.
there goes
Everybody,
my weekend.
this is
Sorry,
this
Missy.
is a glowing endorsement right now. Check out Tactics Ogre.
For sure.
Please.
This is the closest we're going to get to a Final
If you
Fantasy
like,
tactic game.
SRPGs, strategy
Oh, yes.
tactics games.
Yeah,
It's the
it-
crown jewel, literally.
Love them.
Like, it's what Final Fantasy Tactics was based on. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yes. Yeah, that and like Dragon Force or whatever that game was on the Sega Saturn.
Oh,
Shining Force.
Shining Force? Yeah,
something
Shining
like that,
Force.
Shining
Yeah,
Force.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's an old title.
That took me a second. You said Sega Saturn, and I had to think, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Shining Force and Shining Force
I
2.
love the
Shout out to
Shining
those games.
series.
Me too.
yeah.
I was actually
yeah.
playing Shining Blade not too long ago.
Which
Gotta
one's that?
get, Shining Blade, it's the middle of a 3-part saga on the PSP. It goes Shining Hearts, then Shining Blade, and then Shining Arc.
Oh, yeah, the PSP games. And also,
Yeah.
people sleep on PSP games in general. There's some good ones out there, guys. Check
Yes.
them out.
Those ones aren't available in English, but they're very good if you can
That's-
get a hold of
That's
them.
There
actually
are-
what-
He
That's
is
actually
the
what
fan-
early
fan
Star
dubs.
Ocean games.
That was
yeah, and there's a Star Ocean game that just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Star Ocean.
That
the
was
Divine
also
Force,
on
Star Ocean
PS5
6.
also, though, I think.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's actually doing pretty well. Like, I know 5 kind of had like some mixed reviews, although I liked 5 for what I played. But 6 is actually doing pretty good, and something that was special to me. I know maybe one or two of you might know this, but the new Star Ocean game, the main song, was done
Yes.
by legendary rocker Hyde from Larkin
Oh,
Seal.
he did?
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, the main song is from Hyde. It's called Pandora.
That's sick.
The single just came out about a week or two ago. It's really awesome. You should look it up. Pandora from Hyde.
I went. I was
I
going to
love
film
Hyde,
school.
like Larson Seal. Oh my god!
Heck
Yeah,
like,
yes.
Yeah, I was going to
Yes.
film school in like 2005 or 2006 when he was like hitting hard back then.
Oh yeah, he's actually seen like a big burst of popularity. Like he was in went to another band called Vamps for a while, and then now he's like been doing
Oh,
a solo
yeah.
for a bit. And now
Nice.
his new like renaissance of being solo is like he's really amazing, really catchy music. So
I'll have to check that out.
the new song
Dude
is
puts out
almost
the
like
goat.
it's like 95% English. The new song, so
Really?
yeah,
Hmm.
it's a good song though. So
And music not being in English doesn't mean you can't enjoy it.
oh yeah,
Oh, for sure.
absolutely. I was just saying that. I was just putting it
Yeah.
out there because it's actually like it's different for me to hear him sing a song like
Yeah.
95% English, and it's not bad. It's very catchy. So
Nice.
I was gonna say so yeah, sounds like you got a nice stack of games you're progressing through, Baby Shoes.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. So yeah, 14 is what I'm playing, and all those other games are what I should be playing, but I'm not because I'm playing 14.
You know, Persona 5 is another one on my list. A lot of people they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you haven't played it!" And they just like explode on me with excitement when I mention it. But I was
Yeah.
actually like waiting a little bit because I've always got this like backlog, like I think we all do, and probably
Yeah.
many of you listening have backlogs of your own. And so when you have a backlog, you know, there's games you really, really, really want to play, and then by the time you get to them, a new version comes out, like Golden or Royal or whatever, and then you want to get that one, and then a new console comes out, and you're like, I want to play the best version, you know. so sometimes you end up unintentionally waiting to play something for like a really long time, and it's just how it goes these days. But
Yeah, and I'd like to give a shout out, honorable mention to Stellaris, because that's my default game
Oh,
when I'm
yeah, I have
usually
that on
not playing.
PC.
14.
Yes.
And Misty, I hear, is somewhat of a scientist himself, so I want to see him on the battle rounds.
Mod the hell out of that game.
Yep,
Oh my god.
love Stellaris. I call it the Space War Crime Simulator because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
That's
it
pretty
literally
accurate,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
so Mistithgar, what are you into right now? What have you been playing?
I've actually started streaming again recently, so I've been going through the Fallout and Halo chronologies, actually.
Oh wow, nice.
I'm currently
Okay.
slugging through Fallout 76 with our own Gracie Cakes, along with 2 other friends.
Oh cool.
Oh,
That's
what?
a
You
great
put
take,
76?
Which has mostly been Gracie and them yelling at me to stop trying to run into super mutants.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Me in
Yeah.
Power armor going, but I am invincible.
You guys gonna say, are
I've been
you?
running around in a power armor suit without a right leg lately.
Who needs it?
Oh.
So I'm trying to get a full 51B suit. I just cannot find a right leg anywhere.
My right foot.
Nice.
I've been.
I don't think anybody's gonna get that joke. I'm sorry.
I have no
I've
idea what
heard
you're
it.
talking
They're
about.
blank.
I feel like I should.
My
That
right
sounds
foot.
familiar. Is that from a movie?
My right foot is just like I got a fucked up right foot.
Okay.
Okay.
This is okay.
But I've also gone through the Master Chief collection with another friend, which has mainly been me being team killed by her.
Good times.
Just grenades everywhere, me exploding.
Good times.
I always get carried in that because I'm like messing around trying to follow the environment. My friend's actually trying to like get sweaty on that game. That always happens.
Yeah, no, I do not get sweaty on Halo. It's just for fun.
Yeah, I just be trolling, and they're like, "Come on to the checkpoint," and I'm like, "Can I jump off this cliff?" Oh yeah, I can.
Yep.
As mentioned, I do a lot of modded Stellaris. I've actually been waiting for the new version of the Star Trek mod to come out to give that a try.
Ooh, so good. That's like a whole podcast by itself, just that mod. But anyway,
So they've not to derail the podcast too much. They're finally fixing the bug with the Federation event spawning when you try to go Terran Empire.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'm all for that. I'm watching a playthrough right now where the dude's playing as the Borg, so I'm all about that.
The board playthrough is just like, you are literally the crisis. Have a nice day.
Yes.
da Borg, da Borg, da Borg,
Speaking
da
of Star Trek,
Borg,
I've
da
also gone
Borg.
back into Star Trek Online, where Will Wheaton is now the villain.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wait. Wesley Crusher is the
Wesley
villain.
Wesley
went back.
Crusher is the emperor of the Terran Imperium.
How can you tell?
Okay.
Does he have a goatee? Is that how you can tell?
He has to have a goatee, right?
No,
Yeah.
he just has actually a proper mustache, actually.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
What-
well,
what's so
he's
fun
using
about
that
this,
wax
though,
on it.
Is they've brought back so much of the cast for this.
Evil
Worf
Will
is voiced by Michael Dorn.
Nice.
Wesley Crusher is voiced by Will Wheaton. Both Janeways are voiced by Kate Mulgrew.
Okay.
And this is
Come on.
Star
And
Trek
you've got John
Online you're
Delan-
talking about?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you've got John Delancey voicing Q again.
Oh wow.
What?
Sick.
Oh, hello.
Sick.
Wow.
Yep. Those who don't know Star Trek Online, Q mainly appears for holiday events, and he's made like 2 brief appearances during this arc so far.
I am literally reinstalling Star Trek Online right now.
Yeah.
Shout
Shout out-
also Hikaru he's not part of the current story, but George Takei did provide his voice for Hikaru Sulu's grandson.
Oh wow, that's
my.
cool.
And,
he also
my.
didn't he
That
also
was so
voice
well
him
timed.
as himself?
sorry, say that again?
I was gonna say, didn't he also voice himself as like when he was like a commander?
Yes, he did also voice the trips to the past in the now vaulted MSQ.
Oh, it's vaulted now.
Well, you can still play it. You can still play it.
Oh, okay.
But you have
Okay,
to go
that's
into
good.
you have to go into the mission vault to play it. Same with the 4800, which is the Old Dominion War story.
Interesting.
Okay, vaulted just makes me sad because of Destiny. Like
Yeah,
vaulted just means it's
Destiny
gone.
Yeah.
It's not like Destiny Vault. You can
And
go
Borderlands
play
3.
it. It's just you have to go into an instant zone to play it, and
Wait.
you can't leave the zone until you finish the entire arc.
What happened to Borderlands 3?
Borderlands 3 was not a horrible game. I did enjoy my time with it, but especially compared to that second one, it just felt kind of. I'm not the only one saying it, and like I said, I have like
Oh.
It just felt odd.
But it had its
Yeah.
story
The main
removed or
story
something?
was really bad. The main story for Borderlands 3 was really bad, but
it
the
just wasn't.
DLCs are goated.
Yeah.
There's that new
there's other.
Tales from the Borderlands coming out, the new one.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't really
that
played
dropped.
those too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Borderlands 3, it's interesting because, and I'm not trying to derail anything
That's
either.
okay.
But compared to the first two, where like that story kind of like slapped and like really got you into it, really got you into the characters. The third one does it as well too, but it's just missing something,
Oh man.
and that's about
Yeah.
it. That's the best way to put
Bouncing
it.
back to the vaulted discussion
Yes,
for
yes,
a
yes.
second, and Destiny 2. Telesto.
Oh,
So those who have not been following it, Destiny 2 has been completely taken over by the Telesto weapon, and it's either a massive prank for the holidays, or it's a dawn of the new season that's going to be absolute chaos.
Oh, so they got like some overpowered meta in there, and everybody just.
Well, no,
We
so literally,
think-
it's if you go into right now, when it pops up the This Week in Destiny thing, it says This Week in Telesto, and then just Telesto.
I think I saw a tweet like that said that as well. Like it just repeated
Yeah.
it over.
It's very much a case of Skynet syndrome.
You know, speaking of Destiny, you guys want to talk about our
Mhm.
Destiny wing for a second?
Oh yeah.
I'll defer to my sister.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, Destiny Wing. It is awesome. We just wrapped up Festival of the Lost, which was the Destiny version of the Halloween event, and I don't think either Mistithgar nor myself actually finished our Ghost Rider title, which is ironic given that it's November.
Yeah, it's
And-
NaNoWriMo.
Yeah. But it was fun. Haunted lost sectors, haunted everything, stealing lots of candy from Zavala. You know, just the usual Guardian things. And this season has been all about being space pirates, which,
Nice.
you know me, that's kind of my thing. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
a lot of people don't like how grindy this season has been. And, okay, they've got a point. I still don't have one of the patterns unlocked, so I can't really finish the seasonal triumphs. But at this point, it's like, well, it's what it is. Catch Crash is probably my favorite seasonal activity, and they just keep getting better.
Nice. Okay.
I cannot wait to see what the next season has for us. They haven't even announced anything yet, as far as I'm aware.
Honestly, like even as like a non-Destiny 2 player, and I have played it a little bit here and there.
Yeah, same here.
That's cool to see that. Like after all this time, you know, hearing from an actual player that things are getting better. Like that's awesome to hear in 2022. Honestly,
It hits a nasty point around Beyond Light when like stasis was everything.
Let's not talk about the stasis grind. I think if we pulled the entire Azure wing, we'd maybe have 1 or 2 out of the 50 of us that actually have more than the base stasis classes unlocked.
nice.
I have
So,
0 stasis places
Working
unlocked.
on those.
So I have to ask, for our viewers, or for not our viewers, for our listeners, what if somebody wants to get involved in Azure Destiny activity? Where would they start?
Uh, Easiest place is to just come say hi in the Discord channel. We have everything, including a link to the clan page pinned in there, and we have our events on Tuesday nights starting at 9 Eastern, but and 6 Pacific. But I like to say that our organized clan nights really only 30% of the actual clan activity. Like, we'll go in on the weekends and do a raid or get a chase exotic, which... Misty, did you ever actually finish getting your xenophage?
I used it to kill you. Thank you very much. Yes, I did.
Oh, right.
Misty, why are you always fighting your friends in games? What's going on?
This is my sister we're talking about. This is called sibling rivalry. I don't know what this friends thing you're talking about is.
How many folks we got in our Destiny clan these days?
52?
We've got, 52
Yeah,
or
so-
something.
I mean, even a chunk of that is that's people to do things with. So
Yeah.
that's just at on one given day. So
Yep, there's always someone around doing something, or if you need to run, like I said, we may not get that much going during the actual clan nights, but that's really only 30% of the activity.
okay.
Yeah,
From what I see.
They're around. You can hit them up if you need help. Like, I guarantee they will run through all the old shit with you if you need it.
Yeah, like I know Kana is almost guaranteed to be running Gambit. Actually, I wonder if he's grinding it right now.
He might be.
Okay. Nora,
Okay.
what other games have you been playing besides Destiny?
Well, if Baby Shoes is primarily 14 and should be playing all these other things, I'm
Yeah.
playing all these other things and should be playing 14.
Ah, nice.
Gotcha.
Nora's playing
Perfectly balanced. like all
Persona
things should
5.
be.
Yes, I got Persona 5 Royal when it dropped, and I've been playing that first Persona game, and I'm about 30 hours into it, so, just finish the tutorial, normal JRPG.
Yeah.
Normal JRPG things.
Yep.
Yep, normal JRPG.
And-
things.
Yeah, and
I take it you're liking it.
enjoying that so far. Like, Glitchy wasn't sure if I would like it, given it's a bit different from my usual fare, but yeah, it is fantastic. I see why everyone loves Persona 5.
Mhm.
Also gotta mention Splatoon 3, Splatfest this weekend. Team Hydro Homies, where you at?
Go Hydra homies.
Yes. They're doing a sponsored Splatfest in conjunction with the new Pokemon release that's happening next week. So it's basically your team is, which starter are you picking, water, fire, or grass?
Fire.
A lot of people are memeing about Sprigatito, and let's be honest here, I get it. I get the memes.
We all know
It's
the
a cat
correct
that you can also make an overlay of Despacito too. It's great.
The correct
But-
answer is fire type every time. But go ahead.
But if we're talking overall, gotta go with my OG Squirtle, water.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
what?
Me too. I'm gonna go with Claxley too.
Yes.
I'm gonna teach my guys Thunder Punch and one shot you. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
No, I start with Charmander. I don't fuck around. I teach you Butterfree Confusion, then I take you to town.
Nice.
Oh wow. Yeah, poet. You don't know it.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah. So those are the
Bunch of
big
main games. Yeah.
two. Yeah, the big two that I'm into, Splatoon and Persona, but then of course Destiny, and I've actually been dabbling with Harvestella that Square Enix
Oh,
just
yeah.
released
Oh,
a few
yeah.
weeks back. The
Oh yeah, I've been hearing good things
their
about
farming sim, they call it a farming sim. It's really a JRPG with a farming element.
mechanics,
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
kinda what I
not
thought when I
like
looked
Stardew
at it.
Valley. Yeah, or any of those actual farming sims because so to put it in context, since I'm assuming most of our listeners are familiar with 14 and everything, we have the idea of raid food and all of that, and potions, all that ancillary gear that you take into serious content with you. In Harvestella, you have that, except the crops you grow, you actually have to cook and process them so you have the stamina to actually last long enough to progress the dungeon.
Interesting.
Oh, so like the farming element is tied to your progression, basically.
Yeah. Like
cool,
I specifically hit
it's a
progression block where I'm like, okay, I need to spend the next 3 days just farming so I can keep going and kill this boss. That's just how it wound up.
I would say it's a lot like God, what was that? Rune Factory.
Oh, Rune Factory.
Oh yeah. I haven't played Rune Factory, but yeah, I've heard that as a common comparison. As far as timing, I'm not entirely sure yet. I finished the first season, so it's split up into seasons of the year, of course.
Oh, I see.
Just finished spring. I've cleared the first 2 dungeons, but there's no real pressing time thing. At least at this point. I don't know what the story has in store for me, but...
I got a question for you about that. The reason I was asking about timing is because I'm reminded a little bit, even though I know it's not a farming game, it's an alchemy game for Atelier. Specifically, certain games, especially like Totori. I was playing Totori not too long ago, and it's kind of like I have this constant urge in that game to want to kind of like hurry, but I also want to take my time because I like grinding. So like the days and the weeks and the seasons just kind of like fly by when you're trying to like stock up on stuff or do things. So I was worried a little bit about Harvestella, like because I don't know that much about it yet. But I was going to ask you, from somebody that's played it, like does the time in the game like pass while you're trying to do stuff, or?
Yes. So that is, I think, the really neat part that came about as part of the merge with the sort of farming sim trope, because like, okay, I speak all authoritatively. I only have about 300 hours in Stardew Valley here as my other experience with the genre, but
gotcha.
So everything you do in Harvestella, you have the in-game day-night cycle, and if you're still out at midnight, you will just pass out and wake up in your bed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so Stardew Valley.
Without some gold or whatever.
Just like Harvest Moon was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very similar.
So, yeah. So stamina does become a bit of a resource that you need to keep track of, but as well as time. And then, of course, there's always the timing of everything. And what's really interesting, I'm trying to dance around spoilers here because it's in the marketing material, but it's still a bit of the game's big mystery, is that there's this season of quietus where the last day of the month, or 2 days or whatever, all of your crops are dead. You can't really do much because some mysterious force is just making it basically lethal to be outside.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
But
all right.
And then figuring out the mystery behind that is really what they say the big plot of the game is.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing about that. I actually had had a lot of curiosity about Harvestella, and I plan to get it eventually for my Switch. Osh, are you there?
I would recommend one of the consoles if one of the other consoles, if I may, just
Really?
because it really the graphics really do benefit from that extra horsepower.
I might get it on a couple. I just like I like the idea of having like a fantasy farming game like on the go. But
Yeah.
you there, Osh? We were like sound like
Yeah,
you were
I'm
losing-
here.
Okay, for a second you were like a robot for just a split
Oh,
second.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Okay, so yeah, a lot of good games there, Nora. You know, when you say Splatoon 3, it makes me think of our general Phelana. Phelana
Yeah.
talks a lot about Splatoon.
Yeah, I want to have trash talking in the Nintendo
Oh,
chat
have
a
you?
bit about about
that's
Splatoon.
funny.
Yes.
That's funny. So, Osh, I earlier I mentioned Atelier, and I heard you go like, oh, you know, like I could tell your excitement. I know you like all the
Oh,
JRPGs
yeah.
too, but tell us what have you been playing? What are you into right now?
Lately, what I've been doing is running down my platinums on the Kingdom Hearts games on the PS4.
Okay.
Because I got them on the PS3, and then it said it's an entirely different trophy list.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, let's run it again.
Nice.
I've been doing that, playing Persona 5 Royal, because of course it's a goat.
We have several people playing Persona 5 right now,
Or should be playing it, yeah.
or should be. Yeah.
I play every Persona all the time. Like, it's one of my favorite franchises. I'll go back and play like Persona 1 on the PS1
Oh heck yeah.
with that jank ass translation and combat every 3 steps, and I'll do it. I don't care.
Did you play the PSP remaster of Persona 1?
Yeah, I got that.
Nice.
But like, and it's got better music in some points, but way weaker music than other points.
Oh man.
The main thing I was excited about the Persona 1 on PSP was that they actually gave us the Snow Queen route,
Oh, okay.
which was not in the original English release of
Interesting.
Persona 1.
Okay.
You have to like entirely fuck up some shit. Oh, sorry, dirty words.
You're fine.
But yeah, like you have to go through, and it's all about like Yugi, like go for it. Great shit.
Nice.
Main thing I'm playing right now is obviously 14.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts, and I've been playing Tribes of Midgard.
Oh, I've heard of that. I think I got that
Yeah.
listed on my Steam, I think.
Let me look. I think I might have that on accident.
Yeah, it was free on PlayStation Plus
Nice, yeah.
like last year at some point. And it's run around, build up your town, like it's a resource gathering game, but mostly combat based. And then like Jotun show up, so you have to kill them before they destroy your town.
Oh man.
Yeah, I have this wish listed on my Steam as well. Looks good.
Nice.
It's not great, but it's fun.
You know, I was going to ask you, Osh, since you said you're playing through Kingdom Hearts, a couple of years ago, I went ahead and got them all on PS4 myself. I just decided to go through like everything. I already had the 1.5 remix on PS3, so I started with that, and then I graduated over to PS4. And I said, like, you know, once and for all, I'm going to play all these because I grew up with Kingdom Hearts. So once it got to a certain point, there was a time where I was on it with every release. But once we got to Birth by Sleep, I actually kind of like fell off the train for just a little bit. I always supported the series, but I got rid of my old PSP, you know, for a while, and then they didn't have.
It was so hard to keep up because like you had to have a PS2 and then like
they were
PSP
jumping around all over the place,
and then
yeah.
3DS,
and then
and then
358 or 2 days wasn't exactly the most enticing game to play. But you know, I ended up playing that too because I just said screw it one day, and I was like, I'm gonna play them all. Like, and I know that 358 or 2 is not it's not a game on the remasters. It's just cutscenes.
Yeah, it's cutscenes.
I said, okay, I'm gonna do the cutscenes, but I'm gonna do the cutscenes after I play the actual physical game. So like I still have old consoles. It's like no problem. So I just went ahead and played that too. But I gotta tell you, playing the what was the final mix version of Kingdom Hearts 1 that's now in the 1.5 remix.
Yeah.
That is getting that Ultima weapon is a lot more brutal in that version versus the old US version. It is way more.
Yeah,
brutal.
you have to get like that pink Gracias.
Oh my god, the pink mushroom farm thing, and then you've also got to get they basically have their version of notorious monsters, basically.
Yeah.
You just have to like find them all, and then some zones you've just got to go in and out of the zone like a million times to try to get it to pop, and then once you do, you only have a percent
Sniper
chance to
Wilds.
Yeah, so completing that crafting log and getting the Ultima weapon is just like so much more insane. Like, I think it's really funny because when I was a kid growing up, I had a couple friends that were older than me, and they were always playing, JRPGs, and their characters were always like maxed out and like super godly and everything. And then I was like, a younger teenager who wasn't that great at RPGs at first, for a while. And they were like, oh, look at my awesome characters and everything like that. And I was always like in awe of like what they did. And when they got the Ultima weapon too, they were like, this is the strongest weapon in the game. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I could ever, get that because, I'm not as good at the game. And then, years later, I go to actually do the grind for the Ultima weapon, but I'm doing it in 1.5 remix, and I'm like, this is so much more insane than like, the old one. And so I had to have like a bragging moment there where I was like, hey guys, like, look what I did. I was like, this is the more insane Ultima weapon. Like, but I was surprised though. Like, whenever I talk to somebody who's done the Ultima weapon in 1.5 remix, I'm just like, I'm like, I want to know what they think, because they really upped the difficulty in getting that ultimate weapon. So.
Oh yeah, because you got to have so many like rare spawns.
A huge shopping list of items that you have to go after. That it's like another 10 to 20 hour grind. Like all of them combined. Yeah. But I did
the pink Gracious alone is the worst part of it. Like you have to like. Oh, I did everything. I platinumed it on the 3. I platinumed it on the 4.
Good lord.
I'm working on platinuming.
I didn't platinum it, but man, that's awesome.
I'm working on platinuming it. Working on platinuming Kingdom Hearts 2 again.
Yeah, when I went through it again, there was things I didn't even realize existed, like in the old version or in the old days, like you time the counter of the game's like playtime to the doors on the clock tower, and then you wait so many hours for each one to open. And then I actually went through all that, and I had like a paper I was marking down all the times, leaving my game running and everything. And
you have to, because like if you don't, if you don't, you don't have enough orichalcum.
Exactly. Yeah, you literally have to go through all that mess. Like, and then if you want to make a max AP build Sora, like I did my last run, level 100 max AP is pretty awesome. Like, I don't give AP to anybody else. Like, just give it all to Sora.
Aww.
But anyway, that's awesome that you're doing that. Man, PS3 and PS4 platinums, like that's too much for me, man. I'm just happy.
I got it on 3. I'm working on the 4.
Well, real quick before we move on though, like, are you playing anything else?
I've been playing Multiverses.
Multiverses, huh?
Yeah,
what's that?
It's a free to play. Everybody's in. Yeah, it's Shaggy. Like
Shaggy.
It's Warner Brothers Discovery Smash Bros.
Yeah. So like Arya Stark is in that game, because that's a thing.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Like LeBron James, because Space Jam.
You know what that reminds me of? Have any of you ever heard of it's an old program now, but I guess they're still updating it. It's a thing you can make on your PC where you take pieces and bits of like not only custom characters but like characters ripped from fighting games. It's called Mugen. And you can basically create your own fighting game. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. You basically can make a fighting game of your own with like hundreds of characters, like thousands of characters to choose from.
Just download a pack and install it.
You can have like Colonel Sanders versus like Sephiroth, like, and all kinds of stuff going on in there.
Like Peter Griffin versus like Sora. Like let's go.
Yeah. It's tons of anime, game, and just different characters from all over the place. That's so fun. That's what that reminds me of. I wish there was something a little more official, but it's like a licensing nightmare, to even go as far as.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay.
You couldn't do that in actual shit because
it has to be
so many licensing issues.
But man, it's
Sony pops in with their music.
Yeah, it's fun for a little bit though, like messing around with that. But, hold on, whoops, wrong tab. Okay, so we had a live letter this morning, and it was pretty awesome. Letter from the Producer Live. It's a FF14 Online's normal producer stream. So they come online and they tell us, all kinds of stuff to expect from the coming patch, and they revealed a lot of stuff about patch 6.3. That is the very, very next patch, and we have a time frame now. So it's January 2023. Patch 6.3 is called God's Revel Land's Trouble, releasing in January 2023. It kind of gave me a chill when I read that. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the rhyme.
It's really cool, yeah. So we are going to be looking at a continuation of the main scenario quest. So more story, always good.
Yes.
Tataru's Grand Endeavor side quest is going to continue. Tales of Newfound Adventure side quest is continuing. So that's a quest that's unlocked by leveling various roles to level cap. Somehow Further Hildebrand Adventures will continue, patch 6.35. So remember, the 3.5 patch is not available right as soon as the patch launches, so it's going to be the next update after the early January one, usually just a few weeks ahead of, maybe a month sometimes, depends. Manderville Weapons side quest will continue, patch 6.35. So same patch as the Somehow Further Hildebrand Adventures. So we got 6.3 early January, a few weeks later, 6.35. That's bringing the Somehow Further Hildebrand and the Manderville weapons. New tribal quests available in 6.35 as well, involving Loporritz. So Loporritz, we kind of expected that. And because we've got Omicrons now for Gathering, and then right before that, we had the Arca Sodara for the battle ones. There's always a battle, a gathering, and a crafting, tribe quest. So the crafting tribe quest for Endwalker is going to be the Loporritz. New instance dungeon is going to be popping up to the main scenario called Lapis Monalis, and I have no idea what to expect from that name alone. I could probably translate
just
that
bunnies,
into Latin, but it still
just bunnies.
Probably won't give us an idea. Yeah, just bunnies. New trial is going to be added, and again, the title and the opponent are going to be a secret. Just like last time, it was a certain character from a certain thing. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but there will be an extreme level difficulty of this duty. So if you're caught up to the current patch and you know what the trial is, you can. I'm gonna say this. You can probably expect the next trial to be of similarness to the one that we just saw, if you know what I mean by that. So the latest Unreal trial is going to be against Sophia. So we're going to have Sophia containment base.
Sophia Unreal is going to be nasty.
It's going to be pretty nasty. I mean, Sephiroth was pretty big. We tried to bring patch 6.2 Monstrous Mondays into doing Sephiroth Unreal, and though we had been successful at doing Unreal within our Monstrous Mondays weekly trial clears, Sephiroth was a very big upscale from the last Unreal. So Sophia,
Sephiroth shut us down, and Sophia is probably going to shut us down too.
It was rough,
especially with the scales.
Yeah, I mean, we have the other EXs going. We decided with as of Sephiroth Unreal that we were going to drop Unreal for a little while, and then just focus on getting normal EX clears for a bit. So because having EX4 per se, as some people call it, for Monstrous Mondays, and having Unreal Sephiroth, that's a lot to that's a lot for for our hosts to regularly do.
Yeah.
And then now in our not that they're not capable of it, it's just that that's some heavy content there. So
it's hard to teach.
We have
that's the problem.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But then we have Monstrous Mondays has now scaled to assisting people who are people have been getting to Endwalker all year long. So it's not just the initial burst that we had in December, but we've got new recruits. We've got people who are coming back to the game still. They're getting into Endwalker. They want the EX1 and EX2 clears as well. So now we have that new Monstrous Mondays schedules where it's staggered. We got primetime and late night, and we've got different EXs going on each one per week. So definitely check out Monstrous Mondays poster in our Discord. Should also be on our website. We just made it recently, so we got to update that. But the poster actually shows which ones we're doing. So as for Unreal Sophia, I don't believe we're
sorry, I picked up the 4
to Monstrous Mondays. It's all right. Tell 4 we said hi.
Hey 4, everybody says hi. Hey everybody, 4 says hi.
Nice.
4, you ready for the marathon remake?
But yeah, you could definitely.
He said, "Hell the fuck yes."
Definitely look forward to a Sophia Unreal, but definitely don't count on Sophia Unreal being in Monmon.
Yeah.
So Monmon's our nickname for Monstrous Mondays. So newest chapter of Mists of the Realm Alliance Raid. That is the next part of the Endwalker 24-man raid series. So first part was Aglaia, or Aglia, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
And and we got to see some of the the 12. I don't know. We don't exactly know if they're actual gods or what, but we do know they're basically the gods that Eorzea looks to, and the people of Eorzea. And so now we're going back to Igla. So Pandemonium is actually going to be on hold in Azure once we hit early January. Right when the week of 6.3, it's always going to be on a Tuesday that patch launches. So patch day is going to be a day one clear of not only Iglia, but also the new one called Euphrosyne. I hope I'm saying that right. And Euphrosyne looks like Euphrosyne. I was just going to call it Euphrosyne.
Yeah, Euphrosyne sounds right to me.
Yeah, so we're going to have Aglaia and Euphrosyne in a row. This is what we do whenever the 24-mans come back and there's more than one. And eventually there's going to be 3. It's going to be a 3-parter, but that's not until 6.5. But the 6.3... 24-man, we're going to do 1 and 2. We're going to do Azure 24-man Tuesdays, same time, same grouping time as APT or Azure Pandemonium Tuesdays Prime and late night. But we don't do a late night when we have a 24-man because they can get longer, and especially when they're new, we want to make sure we have plenty of time within a 2.5 hour time frame, especially when they're really new. So it's going to be a 2-part, and then of course it's going to give us the coin. We get to take that coin. We get to upgrade our Lunar Envoy gear right now. Without having to do
hold your coins until the end of the expansion if you're a casual player, because then you can just get the best gear.
Well, yeah, there's that too. Although it does get a lot faster to clear the earlier 24s when you're at the end as well. Like we'll go real fast, and we'll do the trilogy when we get there. Then Aglia will be like a 5 to 10 minute run, and then okay, maybe not 5, but like 10-minute run, and then the other ones will be faster, and then whatever the third one is, it's gonna be like right before 7.0. Anyway, definitely look forward to doing Aglia or Euphrosyne on the return of Azure's Mists of the Realm 24-man Tuesdays, starting early January. It's going to take the place of Pandemonium that we do every Tuesday. Deep Dungeon 3. Can you believe it? Finally, another Deep Dungeon, guys. Like, finally, after all this time, Deep Dungeon 3.
Why is it Eureka, though?
I've seen a few.
I was going to say. I swore it was going to be like Lunar Ruins, because we saw like the head on the moon that the Lopriates were like performing out of, and that head is in the Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection game, and also in the GBA game for Final Fantasy IV as the Lunar Ruin entrance. So Lunar Ruins would have been like perfect for this, but Eureka Orthos, whatever that is, probably has something to do with Eureka.
Yet again.
Yeah, I saw that and my eyes were like so big. I was like, Eureka? Okay. Well,
although that said, it does not say that we will have to have done the Eureka shit to unlock this.
If it's Eureka on the moon, what does Orthos mean? Like, these are questions we have. If you know this, comment to us if you guys are listening.
I heard a rumor, pure speculation, that it's like under the Crystal Tower or something.
What? Oh, that would make sense. In Final Fantasy III, Eureka is under the Crystal Tower.
What?
Well, it's not particularly like under, but you can't get to Eureka without going through Crystal Tower, Circus Tower. Like it's a door inside Circus Tower that leads you to underground Eureka. Yeah, this Final Fantasy III. But to get to Eureka Orthos, players must first complete Endwalker's main scenario and progress to floor 50 of Palace of the Dead. So if you haven't done that, get on Palace of the Dead soon. That way you can take part in the new Deep Dungeon. I can hear it now. We're probably going to get questions about if we have an event or not. But we gotta kind of analyze content as it comes out. So we'll see.
Yeah, we can't just blindly commit to something before we see how it actually works.
We blindly commit to the Mists of the Realm. We could do that, but we can't for like a Deep Dungeon or any Unreals or things like that. Real quick here, Eureka Orthos is going to require level 81. Once inside, players are going to begin at level 81. So rules and functionality are generally identical to other Deep Dungeons, just like Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High. Duty support is going to be expanded for the following Heavensward duties: Great Goopball Library, Sorkai, Aetherochemical Research Facility, Zelfatol, Antitower, and Belsar's Wall. There are some PvP updates, job adjustments. No large
Paladin's
skill
getting
changes.
reworked.
Paladin is going to be heavily revised in PvP.
Yes.
But the next
guy.
live letter is going to go into more detail, they said. There's
And rewind it back to Great Google
Yeah.
Library, some of the
Yeah.
best music in the entire game.
absolutely.
Oh yes.
Inkwell Dry or something like that. Ink
Oh my
Run Dry.
god, yeah.
Yes.
Both libraries, the hard and the regular. It's pretty awesome.
And, and I was off for a second, but you have to have cleared Palace of the Dead to level 50 to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Oh,
do that
that's
to
where
get into
Inkwell
Orcos.
Try was from. Okay.
Yep, that's from
Okay.
Blue Ball. Yep.
Yep. Love
And
it.
then we are not going to see any adjustments to PvP actions, but Series 3 is going to begin in 6.3 as well as Season 5 of Crystalline Conflict. And new areas for Crystalline Conflict are going to be added. And that was a question I had too. I was wondering, I'm like, I hope they don't pull a Golden Saucer and release this new mode and then never release any new maps for it, like they did with Chocobo Racing.
Yeah.
So here we are with PvP, obviously, more popular than Chocobo Racing. And it looks like we've got a Kugane Castle map.
Yeah.
It looks really cool, actually.
It looks so pretty.
looks really
Oh
cool.
my god.
Yeah.
There's like a guy throwing gold and all kinds of stuff. There's crafting and gathering updates. We've got tool enhancement quests that are coming. So crafting relics. Looks like they're going to take place with partially in the first. New custom deliveries are going to be coming out. There's no the client is going to be a mystery for now. Collectability values are going to be displayed for reference when gathering collectible items. Primary fishing locations, preferred bait, additional conditions are going to be added to the fish guide. So
Which is amazing.
beer
Yeah.
fishing location in Upper Lenosha. So we get to go underwater in Upper
Oh,
Lenosha.
Are we also going to get a fishing jig that goes over level? Yeah, does it go over level 61? Are we finally going to get a
Yeah,
spear
that's a
that
good
goes over
question.
61?
It's,
is great.
it's the first
Yeah.
time. It's the first time we're getting spear fishing in ARR content.
Yeah, first for ARR zones. Definitely. Like I'm curious, like, so that means they're going to add an underwater area, and that means that, also that they'll go back to older content to do that. So that's kind of cool. Island Sanctuary is getting new ranks, visions, and item rewards. New materials,
Cool.
crops, animals, and Isleworks handicrafts are going to be added. Pictures that we've gotten to see so far is a griffin, a tiger, a moorball seedling, not a minion. And then, of course, new structures are going to be added as well. There's improvements to the workshop interface based on feedback that will be added, particularly regarding the agenda,
Yeah.
supply, and demand earnings report.
Cool.
You can just auto collect droppings.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Options
I need to
collect
build another.
all available yields and leavings at one time.
Sweet. Yeah, I need to build a new granary too. I'm not collecting fast enough.
And the last updates for Island Sanctuary, there's animals under care will also be eligible for release upon a new animal's capture. So you can save an orchestrion setting as well, and a visitor will now hear the Isle Keep's orchestrion selection notification.
Yeah, somebody coming to your island can hear your music now.
And guess what's coming to Treasure Thursdays?
Oh, super psyched.
Shifting gymnasium
Yes.
portal accessible via the new
Yes.
Elpis-centric treasure maps. So people have been wondering, like, well, there's no Elpis maps, and we're like, oh yeah, that's right. Well, apparently there's the ancients have been up to something. And,
No, it's more like the Loperites have been up to something.
It's
yeah.
you troll.
You know what's strange though? Elpis-centric treasure map. Does that mean that there's like, so we get our normal Kumbera skin maps, right? And those maps
Yeah.
are they going to be updated with an Elpis zone, and that Elpis zones will contain that, or is there a totally new map coming out just for Elpis?
It'd be
The
like,
way that the way it sounds.
the way it's always come, where like, oh,
Kinda
you've got your level 90 map.
Uh-huh.
You can get one of the two.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a totally different map, and all those maps.
Kind
will
of
just
sounds
be
like
up.
it's the new
Totally different
Thief
map,
map,
yeah.
if you remember those from Stormblood.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
thief maps, yeah.
Yeah.
What if that map drops within the portal of another map, like Nora was saying, the thief map does? That could be the thief map, of
Yeah.
Endwalker, but it takes you to the whole little spin the wheel game that we saw in Shadowbreakers. And
Are you talking like a golden axe thief? Like the thieves show up and you bop them and get all your potions and stuff back. Is there like a thief that shows up in the previous ones? and you
Golden
bop 'em?
Axe?
Golden
Yeah.
You really came out with that. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
First thing that came to mind.
Well, the
That's
last updates
interesting
that we're
choice.
seeing for 6.3, Gold Saucer's getting a new course for Leap of Faith. Housing, there's
Ew.
going to be 1,800 new plots per world, 6 words and 6 subdivisions added. Planned for sale
Missy
by
might finally get his medium.
lottery sale.
Already sold out.
Right.
Details regarding FC versus private plot distribution will be announced at a later date. There are some UI improvements, a few other little things here. The ability to.
Oh, I like the
remaining time
battle
for
log
boss
changements.
events. That's going to be added on the party list. Battle UI. Yeah. Battle UI portraits will be displayed using the duty finder. Only party members.
If you want to.
24-hour duties. That's cool. I like that. That's actually
you can
really cool.
you can see people's faces
That is
instead
so
of their
cool.
just
Oh my
health
gosh, I didn't
bars.
see that, man. That is really cool. I like my portrait. So, expansion of available actions when using fashion accessories. Ability to cast glamours and dye retainer equipment without removing it. Thank God.
Oh, that's nice.
That
That
was
is very
extremely
nice.
annoying before. Ability to cast glamours on your own equipment directly from the retainer's inventory. Wow. Okay. Ability to filter new added items at sundry Splendor's vendors. Then, of course, there's a handful of like new merch. Got the Tactics Ogre Reborn screenshot sweepstakes going underway. It's really funny because I've been telling people as like a fun fact, hey, did you know there's Tactics Ogre armor in this game? And they're like, oh, what, where, And
Yeah.
here now there's
I think
screenshot.
I think you were telling me that. You're telling me that in FC chat, I think.
Yeah, see?
Yep.
Yep. There's a new orchestra, Eorzean Symphony 2022 coming out, and new line stickers. I can't believe they made the Endwalker grapes a line sticker. those meme grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, because Yoshi P knows.
And there's an arrangement album coming out. And you know what?
I know what.
Next year, 10th anniversary. 10th
Yeah, it's going to be
already.
awesome.
Yep. It's crazy. I can't
Is
believe
it?
it's been that long. Yep. 10th anniversary of A Realm Reborn is next year.
Holy crap.
2013. So that
Wow.
is that's a chunky live letter there. I know we had to go through them kind of fast because we're getting ready to end. But right before we do, and I thank you guys for being here, with us this whole time. I would just want to ask you guys real quick, real shortly, each one of you just one at a time, going forward and aside from what we see in these patch notes. I mean, just going forward in general. Give us here and our listeners one thing that you guys would like to see the most going forward in FF14.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
Baby, Osh, Nora, Mist, and then I'll go.
Okay. Well, I have a few. Can I do like 1.5? The
Yeah,
half
that's
one's
fine.
really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
For the retainers, I would like that blue best in slot button.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I'm equipping my retainers, it'd be nice to hit that, and then like whatever gear you're carrying just goes on them. That's not already assigned to a gear set. That'd be great.
Okay.
And also my full thing is, I kind of went off on this in FC chat, I think more than once. I would love to see a retainer storyline.
Yes.
Like, what the hell do your retainers do? Like you never
When
see
they
them out
steal
nowhere
in
else.
other people's houses, like,
Yeah. And like, what do they do with ventures? What do they spend those? So like in my
where
lore,
did this roof come from?
yeah. So like in my lore, they go to like this like underground John Wick like hotel thing where they spend like the weird funky currency that's only good for
Yep.
like.
That's
And,
awesome.
and there's whole storylines. I would love to see that, and I would love to see a tie into like something huge, like randomly. So that's what I like to see.
Okay.
Yeah, mine are like master thieves, just always stealing from Rowena.
Right? How she ain't caught you yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So my theory is all the retainers have their own instance, and they're just all running around in there doing stuff. They all go to Aetherite and go to like the secret 4th or 5th instance, and then they're all running around in there. So that's my headcanon, and that's what I like to see, or something along those lines. So
All
Next.
right. How about you, Osh?
Honestly, I just like to see more content for casuals. Just like, give me more shit like Island Sanctuary.
Okay.
yeah,
Give me more shit like Triple Triad, but not sucking as hard as Triple Triad sucks when you're trying to get all the cards.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't have any complaints about the game. Like, I love it.
Nora, what about you?
in the odd event that Yoshi P's actually listening to this, give Machinist more than 20 potency buffs.
Because 20 is not enough.
Oh, we were talking about buffs. Buff some dancer. Like,
We have no party utility. We should be like samurai except ranged. Just like our utility is ridiculous amounts of damage.
yeah.
But other than that, I'm looking forward to a lot of the stuff that was mentioned. But also there was hints about new Blue Mage stuff maybe in the
Oh,
FFXIV patch.
yes.
That will I cannot wait for that. It's going to be too long.
Yeah,
Rude
that would
80.
Probably
Give us
a boost to level
sensitivity,
80.
you idiots.
Yeah, that was
Probably
actually
a
my
boost to
third
level
thing.
80 with Shadowbringer stuff, as well as more probably disappointment that we can't take it into POTD again. If you're listening, Yoshi P, I would love to be able to do that. Like
Yeah,
separate bracket from Necromancer. Just let us do that.
yeah, I agree. That was secretly like my third option. I would like to see something like Blue Mage get expanded and leveled up, and I want to see like 3 more weird special jobs, and all 4 of these jobs can group together and just do weird shit, like the calculator from Tactics and like the Onion Knight all together in a group and just doing just weird shit together.
Give me your Geomancer. Give me
Yes,
Geomancer.
there you go.
Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep, all 4 of those in a group and just go.
What do? I don't do damage. I just
Mhm.
change the field, and it hurts people around me.
Here's some vines. Woo! Yeah. Yep.
I had a really funny like mental image when you did that.
Yeah. I saw you doing
Okay,
waving the
so
fingers.
Mistithgar, what going forward in 14? Like, what's at least one thing that you'd like to see?
I've said this before. We've talked about this before. I just want to see a Star Ocean crossover because I want some SRF armor or more gear.
I can't even argue with that. Yeah.
Solid.
More
Okay.
more cool crossovers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, no. You know what? Outriders. Let's get an Outriders
Outriders?
crossover going.
Oh my
Just see the
god.
chaos happen.
You can't heal yourself by hurting other people. Outrider says otherwise.
Sage also says otherwise.
So for me, going forward, just a couple things real quick here. I want to see. I know that they already said that they probably won't be doing any more jobs from the other ones. They want to start making jobs that are strictly unique to 14, as well as to like leave 14's mark on the series, with a few like jobs that have only appeared in 14. And maybe one day when we're all playing like Final Fantasy 27, there's like a job from 14 that appears, and we're like, hey. But I do want to see them use going forward, use some ideas from older jobs, and then kind of work work that into something new. Like recently in Discord, I brought up the idea of jobs, job ideas, predictions that people had that were not from other games that could be in 14. And because there's several whip users in Final Fantasy, but that's never, I can't think of one where that's ever been like fully based on one class, because there's several characters and jobs from different games that can use them. That what if they really did have like a whip user, like whip with like blades on it or something would be really cool.
Yeah.
And then just some other kind of like a I know that there's Mystic Knight, and I know that Paladin exists and Dark Knight exists, but a more magey like sword user would be really interesting.
Yeah, just give us Sword Sage.
Or maybe like a
Sword Sage, and they could be
pirate
like
class,
or DPS.
What if we have another
Or-
class that's not sword and shield, but does have a 2-part weapon? That would be really interesting
Right.
too. Like something else like that. I think a pirate class could have like a cutlass and a pistol would be cool. Or just
I
something
would
else.
main that until the end of time.
I know
Yeah,
you would.
Nora would be 100% about that.
you because you were a resident pirate queen. So, but it's and the other thing too is going forward. I know this sounds crazy to some, but if done really well, I would really like to see more content like Eureka and Bozja, but not just tied to relics. Like, maybe tied to relics and more. I know they kind of already are, but I think what happened was this all started with Diadem. It doesn't just go back to Eureka; it goes back to Diadem, the original Diadem. I was there way back when that launched, and that was kind of the original idea for a large scale sort of duty where people could queue into it from wherever, and basically it wasn't like a 24-man raid. It was like the way Eureka and such is, except for you had to go there via airship, so FC airships or Ishgard airships, and they don't do that anymore. And well, I don't know if you can get there by Ishgard now, but I know that Diadem is now just strictly gathering. But back in the day, it was for 220 gear. It was like a pink gear that was 220, and at the time in Heaven's Word, the best was 210. So 220 was like really coveted, and then if you could get some, you were really lucky. But sometimes it took the whole FC, like 40 something people going in there fighting these big monsters that were basically the same thing as critical engagements, but without it being something you sign up for. Kind of like the monsters in Eureka, how they spawn and such. Similar, different but similar. And then they'd be so hard. They would take so many players, and if you did beat one, maybe a chest would pop, and maybe one person would get that piece of pink 220 gear, and that was like a big deal. And I was so happy when I got just a ring once from there, and so then here comes Eureka, and it felt like they tried the idea of Diadem and then made it so much better with Eureka. But I know Eureka had a little bit of bumps, especially when it was current. There were parts that were like, you get to Pagos and it's like this bottleneck, for a little bit, and Animos turned into just a giant train, for a while. And
it was nasty to come back to it because you couldn't get power leveled through it, and
just not a lot of people doing it as when it was current. So with Bozja, they started to resolve like some things, that were downsides of Diadem in Eureka. And I know we could do a whole other like podcast just about Bozja and Eureka and Zadnor.
Yeah.
But I would like to see another large scale duty, because you had this sense of like, oh man, I'm a resistance fighter like in this war, and because Endwalker was ahead, the final days are coming. It's like, and there's this huge war and stuff. Like that was a really cool feeling to have. And just going forward, that would be neat. And the fact that the lore, I know we haven't really talked about any spoilers in this podcast. I'm like, probably just leave the spoilers out, but going forward with where we think we're going, there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened there in the past. And they're just going forward, having more content like that would be really cool. Just more large scale content. So if you do have a big FC and you can benefit from bringing in 30, 40 people at a time, it really could be really rewarding. And if you don't, then you could also queue into it and get groups easily, like that. That would be really cool too. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to going forward to 14. More large scale content and unique jobs. And I just realized before we sign off here, I just realized that I never told you guys what I'm playing earlier.
Oh yeah,
I never actually told you guys.
We ever hit
real fast.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of time for other games, but I do use special Reika magic to sneak in a few things here and there. So I'm actually playing through Final Fantasy V right now. In the past,
nice.
I did the Anthology Edition on PS1, but the Game Boy Advance Edition actually has secret dungeons and bosses and extra content, including extra jobs.
I heard that one was excellent.
Yeah, the GBA version is the best way.
Yeah.
Same thing for Final Fantasy VI, because for the advanced ones, they were excuse me, they were they hadn't remastered them for a minute, and then when they did, they added extra content, and then that extra content got included in future versions for like Final Fantasy 1 through 4. 3 got the 3D remake, but the 20th anniversary editions of 1 and 2, and then the complete collection of 4, they all have whatever the GBA versions had, and then they brought those secret dungeons and enemies back. So I actually started in 2020 a 10-year plan to play through all the series, a little bit at a time. And for me, that's actually, I know that sounds like a crazy amount of time for some people, but for me that's actually like a challenge, because I usually only get through a few games a year. So with my schedule and everything, and then running Azure, like 14 takes a huge priority with with gaming. So because it's not for me, it's not just gaming, it's and I know for you guys too,
gaming in real life. Let's go.
But I I'll say man, I really want to play a game, and then I might have somebody like a friend or somebody tell me like, oh, but you play 14 all the time. I'm like, that doesn't count. Like you guys know what I mean.
I'll feel you.
Yeah, I was getting on you today. I was getting on you today in the FC chat about it.
I know. Yeah. Yep. You did. But what's nice is FF5, I'm about maybe 2/4. I'm probably about half, barely, maybe a little over half. So I'm just having a lot of fun with it because when I haven't played through it since I was younger, and when I was younger, of course, I didn't get like all in depth with the mechanics and jobs and everything. So now I'm actually like enjoying it in a way I didn't when I was younger, and it feels fresh, like it feels really new. So coming back to something that I love and have good memories with, but also like haven't cleared this version, and there's so much more to it. You know, they have the necromancer job that's unique to it, and and such. And if there's actually a couple of them. So yeah, really enjoying Final Fantasy V. And
Get that Kikiuichi Manji and go for it.
Yeah. And just besides 5, when I'm kind of burnt out or don't feel like playing something for very long, I just want to have a few card game matches. I've actually been going through all the old Yu-Gi-Oh games that are handheld.
Oh, wait, which old Yu-Gi-Oh games?
Starting with Dark Duel Stories on the GBA.
Oh,
Wow.
Super broken game.
Holy cow!
I loved what was it, like Duels of the Roses?
Oh yeah, on PS2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now I went through Dark Duel Stories, which is actually the third out of like 4 or 5. It's like 4 different Game Boy Color ones, but it's the only one that came here on Game Boy Color in the West. So I went back and decided to kick that game's butt. You know, revenge for when I was a kid and I didn't know the mechanics, because the game is so broken. Oh my god. And and then now I'm finishing up unlocking all the secret extras in Eternal Duelist Soul, the first GBA game. And
that's hard.
Worldwide edition. So I'm gonna go through that one next because.
The first worldwide on GBA.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going through that.
Yeah, I bought that day one just to get the obelisk card that came with it.
Yeah. I love card games. Like I play a lot of different TCGs, and I go way back with Yu-Gi-Oh, like to the beginning. So back in the day, I did play the games, but you know, just like what I said about FF5, I didn't do everything in them like I want to do today. So yeah, you know, it's fun to just pop it in my my Game Boy Advance. A couple years ago, I got a refurbished SP of the AGS 101 variety, which that's the one with the brighter, colorful screen. So,
you got the actual backlight.
Backlight, yeah, exactly. It's really nice, yeah. So, you know, just being able to open that up and play a few card game matches in the form that I remember Yu-Gi-Oh more in, because I'm now today learning about the new formats.
Oh, I can't play modern Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't mind it either, but I took a break for too long to.
I cannot understand the difference between here's fusions and here's everything,
right,
and
because majority of it is doing combos between synchros, links, and pendulums and all that going on when we didn't have any of that in the past. So
yeah, what's up with that one that just came out? I think this year on Steam. That thing like blew up. It was like all over the place.
Yeah, Master Duel is really popular because it takes the normal, not the original rules, but the formula of what makes the normal Yu-Gi-Oh games that play by the card games rules really popular, and then they made it to where it's free to play, but you know, you've also got some microtransaction mechanics for
you can buy new packs.
Yeah, you can basically almost play it like you can play the physical game, but you know, you play it on there. But it got really popular, and I'm really glad because you know, the franchise is still pretty strong, and you know, like I said, it's not Magic the Gathering, which I actually have like way more cards for and am more into, but it's so nostalgic for me that, you know, it just feels good to go back and play those sometime. And the original Game Boy Advance ones are just so good. Like they did such a good job on them. Funny, there's actually some glitches in EDS. It's pretty hilarious. But recently, I got back into Assassin's Creed, so I just played through Syndicate and did everything. It was really fun, and now I'm playing Jack the Ripper. So I had.
I was gonna say Syndicate is the best.
It's really funny. Like the horse carts, like you'd be ramming people, and the horses.
What?
There's these
horse carts.
There's the carriages. Yeah. So like you can go
Assassin's Creed Syndicate,
barreling down the road in a horse cart, like slamming into other carriages, and they start glitching, and the people fly off and ragdoll. It's hilarious.
Nice.
It is really.
Are you playing this on PC?
No, PS4.
Okay.
PS4, and then I'm just finishing up the Jack the Ripper DLC before moving on to Origins, because I haven't played anything past Syndicate. I took a few years break off that, was playing other games. So I do this thing where I kind of go back and forth, but in my backlog, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get further in my 10-year FF journey, and then I'm gonna take a break and go back to a series I haven't caught up on in a while. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so like FF5, Yu-Gi-Oh, Assassin's Creed, and and then 14, of course. Catching up on a few things there. I'm just a little bit behind because I'm still unpacking from this chaotic move I had this year. So,
Oh man.
other than that, though, that is our podcast for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for being with us here, all of you guys here tonight, and also those listening. We're actually recording this on a Friday, so it's going to be available to you all as soon as we edit it here, probably in a couple days or over the weekend. But yes, again, thank you all for listening. Thank you for checking out our podcast and our new format we've got going on right now. We decided to add a little bit more topics than normal. Usually we'd pick one or two, and now we've kind of got some additional topics. We want you guys to get to know us. We also want to be informative about the FC and what's going on, but also talk about other games, things that we're into, things we're doing. And then over time, we may actually have some more guests join us. If there is any suggestions or like any ideas that you guys listening have for us, please feel free to comment. We want to know. We're doing this to add to the amount of information we have going on in the FC. Like I said, helps you guys get to know us better and adds to our new podcast format. But we like to provide a lot of avenues for information. We've got our announcements channel in Discord, our website. We have Facebook and Twitter for Azure Infinitum. So there's a lot of options to be able to find out what's going on, as well as our podcast. So, and our grand assemblies, of course, our monthly assemblies in game.
Yeah.
Without further ado, thank you all.
Oh yeah, glad to be here.
Yep.
Later. Oh, y'all take care. See you in game.
Yep. See
Thanks for
y'all.
listening.
See y'all in game.
Love y'all. Let's catch up later.